The Magic Show is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and check this out. On May 14th and 15th, the StarCityGames.com Open Series comes to Orlando, and this event is going to be huge. We're talking hundreds of players, over $14,000 in cash prizes, at least 18 players qualified for their choice of either StarCityGames.com invitationals, live coverage all day courtesy of SCG Live, tons of side events, and as much Magic the Gathering as we can pack into one weekend. So make plans to join StarCityGames.com in Orlando, and we'll see you there.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our new Phyrexia set review. Today is our final segment. I'm sad.
Tired.
I'm sad. All right, so we've been talking about new Phyrexia all week long, and today we're going to talk about the gold, colorless, and artifact cards. We're going to start off with Alloy Mirror, the cutest little mirror.
He's just the cutest little mirror. He's just making that mana. Aww. He's just making that mana. He's trying really hard to do it, too.
He is, isn't he? Okay. Speaking of things that aren't cute, Batterskull beat you upside the face. The card is absurd.
Turn 3. You're dealing with this. You will be dealing with this a lot.
The card is absurd.
So good.
Like, it's okay. Like, Wizards was just like, are you sure you're playing with Stoneforge Mystic? Because it's time. Like, it's okay. Like, we let you do this. Card probably one of the, if not the best. Actually, it's probably the second best. We'll get to the best here shortly. What I feel is the best. Blinding Soul Eater.
I love this guy.
This guy's good.
He's going to be limited.
Yeah.
You know, all the tappers always stay in limited.
Sure.
But what I like about him is he can go in any deck, and of course you want to play him in a white deck. But if you want to tap down like a 5/5, you're saving life.
Right. As long as your 2 life is less than what you would be taking, it's worth it to use him every time.
And he can be aggressive, and he's an artifact, so he helps Metalcraft out.
Yep.
I like this guy.
I like Cage Sun because it's basically like Mirari's Wake on an artifact. You know, not quite Mirari's Wake because it's not a pure mana flare, but it's close.
Yeah. And
when you look at something like a Gauntlet of Might, which is apparently over $10 or something silly now, and what was a completely casual rare. Stays a casual rare. It's just great in Commander. A card like this just goes right along with it, behind it. And I think that's great. Conversion Chamber is neat.
It seems like a sideboard card in limited. 7 mana to make a 3/3 when all these like splicers are just dropping all these golems like crazy.
Yeah. It's another way to make a golem, right?
Yeah. And it's it's an engine and you have to make it work and it's kind of cute, and you get to remove artifacts from graveyards, which can be, beneficial.
It's possible. Yeah, from a graveyard, which is nice. They can't get stuff back with Razor Hippogriff or what have you. Darksteel Relic.
I got nothing.
And it's got nothing.
You will not kill it.
Never. It's just going to sit there and just be an artifact. It just bees. That's what it does. It just bees like that. That's what it is. Etched Monstrosity. This card didn't work the way I wanted it to. With Malira and Etched Monstrosity, it still comes into play with the 5 counters on it.
I don't even know. What's Malira?
Malira is the Silwalk outcast that doesn't let counters be placed on your creatures. So when I first read it, I was like, oh my god, you can play Malira and then play this guy for a 10/10 for 5 mana. Oh yeah. And I was also super excited.
With you? You can draw cards.
You can draw them for 5 mana with all
colors
come in
with
stuff.
5
I'm
counters.
just like dudes and smash and monsters in your face. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I want to draw a bunch of cards.
And you want to draw a bunch of cards. You. Gremlin Mine, I guess they really didn't want you to remove 4 charge counters from Etched Monstrosity. They really didn't. They're just like, we're okay with non-creature artifacts getting their stuff removed, their counters removed only. You're only remove charge counters, which I guess is maybe why they did that, because otherwise people would be confused of infect counters and charge counters. So maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, and
it seems like a weird clause.
Maybe it's more for killing an artifact creature, and it can do something else on it, but you know this card isn't going to be super amazing. It's just it's a 1-drop, and I like activating 1-drops for 1 mana. It's fine.
I like that it answers stuff like Molten Steel Dragon or whatever. It's still doing 4 damage to an artifact creature. That's really important in limited. Yeah. Definitely a limited card only, but good. Speaking of a not limited card only, this is a constructed all-star in my opinion. Hex Parasite will be seeing a lot of play.
Yeah, he's going to be around a lot. We've been talking a lot about him, but I'll talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, let's do it. This guy is delicious.
I love that with 4 mana and himself, you can kill a Gideon.
Oh.
It kills a Gideon.
By himself. A 1 mana 1/1. Like, that's what R&D has given us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because we needed it. We really
Is
needed
that an Everflame chalice? No, not anymore.
No, it does nothing, right? It's a Darksteel relic.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Nice Spirit of the Suns,
Yeah.
I know you thought you were only going to use it a couple times, but not going to happen.
And then I'll hit you for 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's nice. It's just one of those cards that this is a scalpel. Like Razor, like R&D was like, here you go. You cut out whatever problems you have using this card, and then you move on.
Oh yeah.
Nice Jace. Hovermere, how bad is Squire feeling right now? How bad is Squire feeling? Like, the man's a 2-mana 1/2, requires a white mana. This is a 2-colorless 1/2 that flies and has vigilance.
Okay, then we can just take that and say, how bad is a Hovermere feeling right now? I mean, if I was him, I would feel pretty bad about my life.
So, Immolating Soul Eater made its debut today in a Patrick Chapin article for his mono red aggro deck. His strobe red, as he called it, using Assault Strobe, because Assault Strobe
Turn
plus
3 kill.
Immolating Soul Eater is turn 3, which is nice. But I think it's just a little gimmicky. It's the same reason people started playing with Kiln Fiend,
Yeah.
Like, it's real cute, and sometimes, like, so you sort of get in there, but then people recognize you just killed the Kiln Fiend, or you just leave up a blocker, and you don't die.
These decks do something that I really like, and it gives somebody that is just investing into Magic an F&M experience. Because I might die to this deck, and that player knows that he's probably not going to kill me a lot, but he might play me round 1 in an F&M, and he's like, "Oh, you're dead on turn 3," and then, "Oh, you're dead on turn 3."
Yeah,
I took you down, and nice, $800 deck. I beat you with my 35 commons.
Yay! That's awesome. That is a great experience that you can give, or sort of have without needing to own Jace's and Gideons.
And the next card pretty much has no experience that it'll give you.
Oh, the sweet poopy. Insatiable Soul Eater is not Immolating Soul Eater, even though they kind of rhyme together. Mike and Soul Eater, they Soul Eater alike. Like, what? They sort of sound the same.
What?
We're trying to make this work. This is a 5/1 for 4 mana, first of all, which is not great. And then you have to pay life to give it trample or a green.
Yeah.
Neither of these things are exciting. Speaking of nothing super duper exciting, Isolation Sail is interesting. Whenever they cast a creature spell, they lose 2 life unless they pay 2.
Yeah, I really wish this said when it came into play, so it hurt all the guys that bring more guys with them.
Yeah,
but it's
like when it enters the battlefield.
Enters battlefield, they have to do it.
That would be better. That'd be more interesting, right? I mean,
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's one of those cards that because it doesn't do anything when you play it, and it's 4 mana, and all their existing creatures are still going to smash you. It's probably not a good idea.
Okay, next card.
Karn Liberated.
This guy's big.
He's large and in charge. He's 7 mana. He's impressive.
Yeah, he's pretty decent. Like I wrote about last week.
Yeah.
He's a time traveler, and he might have picked the wrong time, but he's still going to be a lot of fun.
Dude, he went to the wrong 1985.
Yes.
Like, this 1985 is taken over by Jace. Like,
Yeah.
oops. Like, sorry. Jace has built the casino and, rampaged the town, and this Karn's what happened?
He has to sit here and wait for another, 8 months, and then he's going to get business done.
Yeah, if he could time travel into October,
Again.
I'm sure he would be sick. Again. But regardless, right now he's probably just going to eat a Spell Pierce, right?
He can. I do like that. I think this guy is going to see some play in other places. Like you look at EDH. Okay, first restart the game. How cool is that?
that is one of the best things. I want to play this
just so I can restart a game.
Not since Shahrazad or something and that was a mini sub game thing. No, this is literally we shuffle up, we go to 20, we draw 7, we do mulligans.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, I'll +4 remove this Emrakul from my hat. I think you have to deal with this.
I'm pretty sure you just lose. Almost anything. If you pop off that ultimate and lose, I want to hear about it. How did you lose that game possibly? Kilnwalker is another tension card, another card that does nothing, and then when you attack, it does something. So then the question is, do I keep back the 0-3 blocker, or do I smash with a 3/3? It's a good.
I think you're going to be smashing with a 3/3 a lot of the time.
Pretty sure keeping this back seems like a bad.
This is
idea.
Ulamog's Crusher. Let's just put the claws. It has to attack all the time, just so you attack. Make sure you attack with this guy.
It would be nice.
What he wants to do.
Yeah, if they just put that on there. Last Ride is next though. This card's really good.
Yeah,
I like this card.
I just hope this time around, the black decks are viable,
Everyone builds mono black control every time a new set comes out. Every single time someone's like, I want mono black control to work. And like, I think Wizards has tried with Obliterator and Last Ride. I mean, you don't have any more tools than you've ever, than you've had at this point. I mean, and from what I can see, it's just, for me, you needed, like, and every time Wizards ask me what to reprint or what I want to see come back, and I'm like, Death Cloud. Like, just reprint Death Cloud. I love Death Cloud. I love playing that deck back in the day.
Well,
like,
the problem with Death Cloud now is Planeswalkers. That's so unfair.
Yeah.
Like, Death Cloud, you had this tension of everything's going to die.
Yeah.
But now, nope, my board stays around.
God, it's so awkward.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think Last Ride is going to be fan-freaking-tastic.
I like how, in a mono-black deck, like, think of just going Phyrexian Crusader and then playing this on turn 4 and equipping it, and, like, they're almost dead. That's
pretty
6 damage
sick.
coming in. Yeah, it's really good.
That's very good. Mind Crank is up next, which with Bloodchief Ascension being active means they immediately lose. As soon as anything goes to their graveyard.
I know that I'm pimping the new set, and, I'm gonna be professional right now.
Okay.
I'm just going to beat you with my real cards when you're trying to assemble this combo. I know it's going to be fun.
But these cards are real? They're made of real Magic card stuff? No.
It's fun, and it go and do the goof, but, I would not waste hours of my life trying to make this deck work for the longevity.
Yeah.
You know?
Not like, maybe as like a crazy F&M, like, awesome, goofy
But
funness.
if you beat me, I will high-five you with it,
Yeah, like, please take pictures, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, make it happen.
It would be a lot of fun.
But ultimately, probably not going to get there. I am much more excited about Mika Saint's Wellspring.
Same cost, way cooler.
Way cooler. Wow. Like, I don't know. I mean, is it better than Wellspring?
It depends. It depends what kind of deck you're trying to run.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just not like a mana intense, a ton of different colors. But like, the thing that I'm looking into is like, what if you just play this on turn 2, get a land, and then you just beast within it, get another land. You have like all your colors.
Yay!
You play your Monstrosity. You draw a bunch of cards.
Oh, and we have entered Magical Christmas Land population us.
But he helps with that Magical Christmas Land.
He does.
It's 2 different lands that you get off of him.
This card fixes mana in ways that few cards ever have, and if you have any ability to sacrifice it, it's fantastic.
This card makes you want to have ways to sacrifice it.
Indeed. Mere Superion, though. God.
Go.
Love it! Love it! Oh, it's just 2 mana, 5/6. Have you seen this thing? It's huge. It's like Lotus Cobra, and you got your Dragon Speed figures and stuff, and you're like, your Bird's Paradise.
It has a big drawback, guys. It's going to be really hard to get active.
Stop crushing my hopes and dreams, please. Like, come on!
There's one card that I really like that goes with this. Okay. Calm down.
Card's gonna be salty.
I like it with Grand Architect.
Yeah,
That's
you
too
do.
bad.
Here we go. Yeah, Grand Architect in your face. All up with your Lotus Cobra and your birds and your Grand Architects and your stuff. It's gonna be awesome. This card is sick. Even with like Birthing Pod and your Bird's Paradise. Yeah, get there. I'm telling you, this card is delicious. I'm loving it. Like, you give me an undercosted fatty, I'm gonna figure out a way to beat your head in with it.
I mean, we used to have this that just cost 1 green, no drawback.
I know, but that was overpowered, okay? We've learned lessons, all right?
And we have barriers.
And here we are with a 6 mana living weapon in terms of Necro Pouncer. God, 6 mana.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Wow, they costed the crap out of that thing. Now, it's only 2 to equip and all, which is nice. But...
I mean, you think of like any limited games, once that thing's just sitting in play, every guy gets haste, every guy gets really big. Games end fast.
Like, Plague Stinger becomes a 4-2, get you.
Yeah,
like,
you're just both playing off the top, and you're like,
Right.
all my guys are just going to get really big really fast.
Right, and so for me, I mean, you look at like Skinwing, and so it's 4 to play and 6 to equip, and so here we are 6 to play and 2 to equip. It's just, for me, it just feels like the numbers are a little weird.
I mean, I think they're correct. I think having it cheap, because you're not paying for a 3/1 haste for 6 like you were with Skinwing. Skinwing, you're just paying for the guy, and then it had this plus side eventually.
Yeah.
This card, you want to die, and you want to put it on something else, you rip off the top. That's what
really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is just not getting it done. Omen Machine is next. Here's another, like, this is one of these, like, weirdo artifacts that does, like, it's like Knowledge Pool or whatever. It just gets really odd. Beginning of each player's draw step, they exile. If it's a land, they put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, that player plays it. Like, things are going to happen. This is a wild and wacky card. You know what I mean? Like,
What if you play
it
this and Wild... What's that one? Wild Evocation? I think that's what it is. Everyone's just playing free spells and not casting anything.
It's like alluring for, like everything, which is nice. It's, like Omen Machine, again, it's just one of those crazy cards that, because of the variance on the top of your deck, you can't really sort of figure out what's going on next.
Yeah. And you can't even trump it with a J. So if you want to play an Omen Machine, you can't really trump, I mean, I guess you can like look at the top and try to manipulate your deck to try to see what you want to flip.
Yeah.
But I like what this card like can potentially be good against decks that are really narrow in what they do. Because like you can't have a second Gideon, but your deck can have like a bunch of random crazy big guys and try to manipulate.
Gotcha! Like Persistent Soul Eater is next. Another one of those cards, like Immolating Soul Eater, is just, sort of like the top tier, and the rest of them just sort of do these sort of different abilities. And this one is just you gain Infect.
He'll be limited. I like that you can go back and forth. You can pick your role.
Yep, you can pick your role. And like his default role is the aggro, sort of the life aggro role, and then you can just switch over to Infect and pay into life is fine. 5 mana for a 3/3. Infect has been seeing plenty of play from Besieged. Phyrexian Hulk reprint.
I didn't know that until right now. I just realized it. I was like, yeah, Phyrexian Hulk is a reprint.
Yeah, from back in the day. Yeah, it's nice. Moving on.
He looks like he's aged a little.
He's a little
He looks
older.
a lot sweeter,
Yeah. A couple years on him. Phyrexia's Core is neat. It's definitely a way to get Mako Seat the Wellspring in the graveyard to go get you some more lands. To get Ichor Wellspring to go draw you some more cards. Always a good time. Pristine Talisman is up next, which was one of the game day cards, as I understand it. They gave it away for the Besieged game day to sort of give you two different futures. One had Mirrored and Pure, which was this card, and then the other was New Phyrexia, which was Suture Priest. And so it's sort of nice that they kind of almost like pre-printed it in a way.
Oh yeah.
And now it sort of shows back up.
Why didn't we win?
God, up next is like the shrines. I'm just going to we'll start with the shrine of the green shrine, which wants to add a colorless mana to your mana pool. At the beginning of every turn, like all these shrines sort of act the same way. At the beginning of your upkeep, you put a counter. Whenever you play a spell of the color, you put a counter. Note that it is not a May ability, so you can't like sort of trick them into forgetting to put the counter on. And while the green one gives you some free mana, I am nowhere near as excited about that one as I am the Shrine of Burning Rage. I think Shrine of Burning Rage could actually see constructed play.
Well, I mean, it comes down and it has a clock on its own.
Yeah.
That you are going to get dealt this damage if you don't deal with this card.
Right.
Or if you don't kill me fast enough.
Right.
And I don't even have to play spells. Every turn, that's one more turn of life that's being lost.
Yeah, and as you and if you wanted to destroy it or something, as long as they have 3 mana up, they're just going to pop it and get you. Or they're just going to keep playing red spells like Lightning Bolt and then put a counter on this, so the Lightning Bolt sort of dealt 4 damage, quote unquote, and you still got dealt 3, and you can't get rid of this because every turn is going to keep getting counters. I'm just saying that of all the shrines, this one and maybe the white one, but this one for sure, I feel actually
I was very sad when I start seeing the shrines, and I'm like, oh, the blue one's going to draw cards. What
does the blue one do? Oh, the blue one looks at the...
You just
impulse.
Look, yeah.
The impulse.
Impulse? Come on. Wizards, what are you doing?
To go through them in order here, you'll look at the black one next. The black one is the Shrine of Limitless Power, and they discard cards.
Out of sorcery speed.
Yeah.
Out of the barrier.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah, so we can do it during their draw step, which is nice. It's 3 to play and 4 to activate. So I think it's going to be kind of difficult to play the Shrine and then pop the Shrine the next turn for more than one card. Yeah. And so, which makes it a little less powerful. But you see the Shrine of Loyal. Yeah, I mean, you try the Shrine of Loyal Legions. I mean, that card seems really...
That's going to win so many limited games.
Whew. And limited, it just seems incredible. I mean, at the beginning of every turn, essentially, you get a free dude until you decide to not get more free dudes, and then you just put them in play and attack with them. Wow. Pretty solid. The Shrine of Piercing Vision, as we spoke earlier, is Impulse, unfortunately. Doesn't draw X cards, which would be totally sick. Do note that it is free to activate its ability, which is different than every other, except the green one. The green one and the blue one will let you activate for free. Sickle Slicer, moving on, is... I really like this card. I like the numbers on this card.
Yeah.
I like everything about
beautiful.
It. It's a 3 mana 2/2 that equips for 4. It does what you want. It's just a beautiful living weapon card.
But that's about all.
I mean,
you can't talk much about it. It's just
it gives
that's all it
plus
does.
2/2. Think about that. Just
let's think of the
things we could do
situations.
with +2/+2. You know, like okay, Soul Conduit is next, and they reprinted Mirror Universe.
Is that what it was?
Well, Mirror Universe apparently was just 6 mana and then tap during your upkeep to switch life totals, and this one takes another 6, but is reusable. This one just like, oh, you guys switch. Oh, you guys switch. Oh, those guys switch. Like in multiplayer,
I'm having fun.
In multiplayer commander formats, you gonna freak some people out. Like, would you quit it? Like, nope, you guys switch. Like, oh, you guys switch. Like, you know, that's
One
neat.
guy's at 5 life and he's like, yeah, I ain't dying this turn.
Yeah, not happening. You're at what?
That guy's gonna die at 48.
So, Spellskite, does this guy have any possibility in constructed at all?
What? Yes.
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 I'm just asking.
Maybe block, but I'm pretty sure he might hit standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
It's spell or ability, which is a biggie, right?
Yeah, he's awesome. Like Jace, like
tries to bounce something.
Gideon, like
Yeah.
like it's just awesome. I think it's going to be a great card. Some Planeswalkers ultimates, might even like get a little screwed up, and then it just spells like change the target of a removal spell to it.
Yeah. I mean, and even if it fizzles it, I'm not sure. My questions at this point sort of go to, what if it's an illegal target?
You can't make it. You can't make it the target.
Okay. Well, in that case, like you can't sort of redirect their go for the throat to Spellskite because it's just not legal.
Mm-hmm.
Surge Note is next, which enters the play. Like this is just one of those cards that's just sort of like a open-ended. It does stuff. It comes into play with 6 charge counters. You can move charge counters around. I mean, your tumble magnets will like it.
Yeah,
Golem Foundries will enjoy it. I mean,
I would just rather have another productive card than something that makes other cards good.
Yeah, the problem is that this card is, you're battling and it's really tight, and then you like rip it off the top, and sometimes it just does nothing. Maybe you have something awesome with charge counters on it, but a lot of times you don't. Now,
like Limitless Power,
best
or not Limitless Power, Burning Rage. You think Sword is the best card in the set?
Best card in the set. This card is unbelievable. I was like. I was underwhelmed, as I normally am when I look at the swords, and then I was impressed, and then I played some with it, and then I talked some more about it, and then I am convinced this card is insane. Like, the fact that you are going to, like, the aggro decks will love it because you're dealing a ton of damage all at once. The control decks will love it because you can destroy their planeswalkers while still winning the race and while still gaining you life, so you don't lose the race. When it's good in aggro and it's good in control, and it gives protection from 2 of the most important removal colors, I'm all on board.
Yeah, it's really good. I just don't want people to play it so I can keep playing Complete.
You guys, please.
This isn't any good, guys. It's not good to kill a Planeswalker and a player and gain life. And I mean, those white birds that get in your way. Being able to get right through them. That's not good things.
No. Why would you want to do that? Come on, guys. Like, Sword of War and Peace. Like, it just makes my dreams
play a
come
different
true.
deck.
Oh, this card. Yeah, this card could be.
It's
the
insane.
end.
Yeah, it's very good.
Unbelievable. Now, Torpor Orb. I called it. I just went out there and called it a do nothing last week. I threw the gauntlet down. I'm like, I don't like this card. I don't think it does what you want it to do. I think every scenario in which everyone's telling me about is just a lot of Magical Christmas Land. Like, you get it down first so their Hawks do nothing, or you get it down first so their Titans do nothing. I'm like, yes, and then they attack with a Titan, then you just lose. Like, doesn't stop them from attacking. Doesn't stop their when attack triggers. Like. It stops that one trigger, that one time. And unfortunately, the Titans are better than that.
Yeah.
They don't need just a one time. They can just keep getting you.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that great.
Like, Torpor Orb versus Inferno Titan just looks bad. Like, ooh, you save yourself 3 damage.
It does stop the extended infinite creature combo.
It does stop the Splinter Twin action, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. And for what it's worth, if the card sees play just to stop that dumb combo or whatever, okay, like that's fine.
Because it's proactive. It sits on the board. They can't deal with it anymore.
Exactly. And you might actually be a good thing to play a couple of them in case they have Into the Roil or whatever to try to get rid of it. So in that case, it's nice that it can sort of fit in there. Trespassing Soul Eater is the old unblockable version. Like, we've kind of sort of went downhill from the immolating. It's unblockable for a blue. How you feel about that one? In limited,
it's fine. It's a gray ogre, and it attacks, and it gets the invasion damage in. I'm fine with it. I think it'll see a lot of play. It's not going to be exciting, but you're going to play it, and it's going to win some games. And you throw equipment on it, it's going to do a lot of damage. Like, these are the kind of cards that, when a set comes out, you don't just go like, "Oh boy, it's out."
I
But
can't believe it. Like a 2/2 that can
it
get
does its
unblockable.
job.
Yeah.
It will deal damage, and it will fight, and it will kill people.
Yeah, like you need sort of the nuts and bolts of Magic cards, you know.
Yeah.
And just like there was that really crappy green card, like there needs to be like mediocre, decent gray ogre artifact creatures in the artifact block.
And to me, it looks like Bullet Bill from Mario. You know, it's like
does.
it's coming out of the.
Coming out of the can and
Yeah, it's
Get
really
ya?
sweet. I really like the card.
that's awesome. Now, Unwinding Clock for me, I'm just going to call this a sleeper hit. I think this card could do some serious damage with cards like Contagion Clasp and Lux Cannon in particular. You know, to be able to abuse Contagion Engines and Contagion Clasps and those things. So basically, you know, tumble magnets or whatever, you know, while you're using your Contagion Clasp. I mean, I don't know. There's something ideally that you can do. But unfortunately, during the untap step, you don't get priority, so you can't tap with Tumble Magnet and then untap it.
Its biggest problem is that lately all the best cards are 4-drops. So it's hard to want to play that over one of the other amazing 4-drops in the set.
Yeah. So, I mean, and even when you talk about Lux Cannon, it's 4 mana too.
Yeah.
So then this sort of like becomes a 5 mana spell. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to run it out unless you have something that you can really abuse it with, which makes it cost more essentially.
We'll see. There might actually just be enough artifacts to just build a gray deck.
Yeah.
And you have Voltaic Keys and Everflowing Chalices, and there might be enough. Like, it's worth a shot.
Because people did play Lux Cannon and Voltaic Key in Constructed, you know, for a period of time while they tried to sort of make that deck work. And I mean, this kind of card can, you know, with a Grand Architect perhaps, I mean, who knows? It's a way to power out things early, essentially.
Yeah.
And our last card for the entire set review, Jorah Kadena, the Prevader.
Okay.
Jorah Kadena. Sorry.
He is okay.
He's
like,
alright.
but the cool thing I like is he has this like nostalgia. He feels like one of those old cards, you know, like I mean, I didn't play back in the day, but I'll see Master Edition things, and you'll see these like three colorless color, 2 different colors.
Yeah.
Like a 5/4 for 5 mana, and they're like just a face of a guy, you know. He's a legendary creature, and this is something that they haven't done in a long time, and he just has that feel of an old card to me, and I like it for that. Like, it brings me back to when Magic was, you know, a simple time, and you know, you didn't have to deal with everything that we deal with these days, because Magic's really complex now. It's really hard. You don't just get to drop a guy and attack anymore.
Yeah.
And this is what this guy makes me feel like. I might just try to make this guy work in something just because, like, I want to, you know, play with just him.
the fact that, like, when you have 3 artifacts, he's an 8/4 first striker, and that makes all your other guys huge. I mean, if the Tempered Steel deck turns into like a red-white, you know, sort of deck, I mean, he's right here. I mean, you know, you Tempered Steel into Jorah Kadena, and then, like, I'm pretty sure they're dead. Like, pretty sure, like, you're doing pretty well with Tempered Steel anyway.
Yeah, even if you don't attack with him,
like,
he's just an overrun.
Parasite, Legionnaire, Tempered Steel, Jorah Kadena, like, I mean, those are huge pumps. Those are incredible pump spells.
And then just on his own, I mean,
effects.
first strike, 5/4.
Yeah.
It's not the most amazing thing in the world, but
It's solid. I mean, for what you're
you
getting.
first pick him in Limited.
Yes, you do. In Limited, he's incredible. In Constructed, we'll see if he can get there. But it's nice that he's also a commander. You know, he can also, you know, sort of command a good red-white commander is sometimes hard to find.
That's true.
So, all right. So that is our complete new Phyrexia set review. Oh my God! There's so many cards. We talked about all of them, every single one, every single card.
I enjoyed it.
This set is fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
They did such a good job at making this set. Like, I am so impressed. I think Zach Hill being on the development team gives us stuff like Free Peek. You know, like the Aaron Forsyth being on the being on the team, I think is awesome because he's a heck of a griefer, and so they wanted to make this like a very griefy set. Like, you know, I get awesome stuff, you get bad things, and they succeed.
There's a lot of fun cards that I think might give us a chance to control Constructed too.
Yeah.
Like our standard format that's in turmoil right now.
Tell me Cobblade is solvable. Tell me that.
It is. You just play Cobblade and then you get good in the mirror match.
No.
I'm telling you, I love it. It's so much fun. I love playing Cobblade mirrors.
That sword's going to smash your face, isn't it? It's going to smash the Cobblade's face.
Nah, I'll run. We have answers. We will always have answers.
That's right. Divine Offering.
Tumble Magnet. Gideon.
Beast within him.
Yeah, I
your
don't
beast
think
can block my sort of War and Peace guy.
I think what's going to happen is there's just going to be a lot of different ways to attack him. so they're not going to be able to be so aligned for all the problems. Because right now you don't have to run so many cards to deal with the problems, but this set gives Standard at least a chance to make Coblight open up a little, and then it'll have holes to attack it at, you know. Just it's getting hit in the knees and the face now and everything. Like you just can't defend everything.
Yeah, I mean you basically just look back and you're like, I mean we're here with Jace and Squadron Hawk and Stoneforge Mystic until October. So until October, we're able to tutor up our swords, and then after October, we will no longer be able to tutor our swords or put them into play.
Print one time.
Oh Lord, no! What? Stoneforge? Really?
I like it. If the deck has to be the best, why not? It's fun.
It's been the best for a long time.
Okay,
it's crushed.
I mean,
it is crushed.
If anyone, I don't know who knows the story, but like back at Worlds, I had to talk Kibler into playing Squadron Hawks in Blue-White Control. So this has been a baby of mine for so long, and I love it. I love it so much.
Well, your baby grew up to Doomsday. You know
I know.
Like you send him out. Like if you've ever actually read the story of Doomsday and Superman, like how Doomsday, like they made this little thing and they sent it into war and it got destroyed, and so they like reconstructed it genetically and they just kept sending it out. Yeah. And every time it got destroyed, they would remake it until it just got so powerful that it killed Superman. We have made Cobblade so powerful it has killed the format. It's just.
And I love it.
God.
All right.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys test with it. You get your cards and you have some fun, and let us know.
For me and Brad Nelson, this is the New Phyrexia Set review on the Magic Show. Good night, everybody.
Like the fatties.
We need to turn the lights on.
Yeah, I can get it.
If you just turn it on, the whole thing.
And you need a clappy thing.
Let me do it. I want to do it.
Do the nice clappy thing. All right, are we framed correctly?
Yes. Although it looks like Mr. Nelson is like 5 inches taller than you are.
I'm Hadouken because I'm downright fierce. You know what I'm saying?
Look at my Hadouken. My Hadouken is amazing. Look at this clicky thing. This clicky thing's amazing.
Are you guys going to put all these in somewhere at the end?
Obviously.